Hello, my name is Joe and I've been living out of Airbnbs for over a year now. I'm currently in Japan, and in this video I'm going to give you a quick tour of my Airbnb here in Japan. Well, one that I did stay in for a month. I've recently moved out of it, but it should give you a really good flavour of a typical cheap but good Airbnb apartment. First, I'm going to go through a few things that I just do and look for, and the kind of prices I expect when booking on Airbnb in Japan. Let's, for example, say we're trying to book for a week, just for one person, because it is just me traveling on my own. Now, there are a few filters that I always put on. The first is I want the entire place to myself. I don't want to share with the host. I always want internet. I always want a kitchen, and I always want a washing machine. So that started to narrow it down already. And then, so we said for a week, didn't we? So this price goes on what you'd expect for a week. So I'm expecting to pay max about £40 a day. So let's get it down to about there. Now, obviously most people want to come to Tokyo when they're in Japan, which is fine. Tokyo is a great place. It is just a bit more expensive than a lot of other places. So where I've been staying is here in Osaka. I did used to live in Osaka as well, but the cheap accommodation is one of the reasons I wanted to come here again, and it is Japan's second biggest city, so there is still a lot to do. I mean, a lot of people say they prefer it to Tokyo, but that's up to you. But I'm just going to use it as an example here. So we're looking at places, the price per night, as we can see, with our filters on, we can find some for about £36 to £41, and that's kind of the range we want to be looking for a good but cheap apartment, in my opinion. And as we can see, a lot of these, they have quite high ratings. Obviously, you've got to click onto each one and do your due diligence, see if it's right for you, check the photos. But that is the kind of price I would be aiming for. Now, what I normally do, because I travel all the time, I normally go for months at a time, and that is going to give you a discount. So let's say 12th of January till 12th of February. Now we'll need to change the price here. So it's going to be more like £1,000. By the way, that's about $1,250 roughly. So as we can see, again, we've got plenty of options. Basically a very similar price to that day rate we just spoke about, but we might actually be getting some discounts. So let's click, we don't want that one. Try to avoid the ones that are new. Sometimes if you haven't got any other options, it's okay to take a risk. That has worked out for me in the past, but it doesn't always. Let's click on this one. And as we can see, the host has applied a discount of 8%, which is not too bad, but I've seen better. I've seen 25% sometimes. So if you can, try and book by month. That's what I do. So I'm going to show you the place that I recently stayed in. It was in the center of Osaka, or near Namba, which is one of the centers. As you can see here, I paid £912.63 for a month in this apartment. And let me give you a quick tour now. Okay, so we're in the Genkan, which is the area where you take your shoes off. You should never step over this threshold with your shoes on. Got a bin down there, and it's been really easy actually. There's a sign here. I can show you this area. All you need to do is take your bag of rubbish down there. It's not like other apartments in Japan where you might need to sort your rubbish. It's just easy. There's this little shelf here. There's a couple of umbrellas. There's the breaker switches up there. There's even a shelf for your shoes. So let's step through to here. We've got another set of shelves. There were plenty of towels and things that came with the apartment, and a hairdryer, box of tissues, rubbish bags, and a dustpan and brush. Then let's go through to the bath and shower area. Yeah, that's just an extractor fan and light switch. Everything's plastic, all the walls. It's really easy to clean. This switches between bath and shower, so you've got both options. The water doesn't get mega hot, but it works fine. This place came with shower gel and shampoo. I bought my own shampoo, but yeah, that was a nice touch. And then that door slides shut. And then here we have the washing machine, which I've used quite a few times. Really easy to use. Just turn it on and then leave it on standard and then press start. And it's really fast actually. And the Airbnb host left me these little portioned out bags of detergent. So you just put one of them in every time you do a wash. It's been really easy. And then this little mirror area's pretty handy because you got the light, you know, washing your hands, washing your face. This is interesting. Not that I've used it, but that closes. Well, I think, yeah, that closes like that if you really want to have a bit of privacy. But as I'm here on my own, it doesn't matter. Yes, you might have spotted one of the flip-flops under the fridge. That's because this fridge has been a bit loud at times. I think it's really old and it makes a whirring sound at times, and I found that if you tilt it, the noise isn't as loud. So that's been actually the only minor complaint about this apartment, the fridge. But the fridge, and it's got a freezer, all works fine. Then we've got the microwave up here and a kettle. And then we've got the little kitchen area. It is very small, but you get used to it, especially if you've lived in Japan before. Obviously we've got the sink, and then we've got this area where you put things to dry. And this place did come with some things like bowls, and I think there was one fork, one spoon. I bought my own stuff because I like to cook at home and I needed a bit more. I bought this pan from IKEA. You might have seen it in one of my other videos. And this is an induction hob, which is actually really good once you get the right pan for it. You just turn on the heat and then choose what setting you want, and it gets really hot really fast. So that's great. This place came with a chopping board and some washing up liquid and a sponge. I bought that scourer. A couple of cups came with the place. You can store some things down there, and then I've been storing tins and things down there as well. So once I got set up with the right equipment, I know it's small, but it's been fine for me, this little area. And then we have the toilet here. It's been fine, plenty of toilet roll included. Extractor fan is there as well. Right, so let's go through to the living area. So over here we've got the light switch. That switch turns that on and off. We've got the AC remote control here. The AC's up there. I haven't actually used it because it's been really mild. The weather's been absolutely fine. I imagine in summer that would be great for putting the AC on. In, you know, maybe colder months, it'd be good for heating up the apartment as well. You've got phone here for if someone calls you from downstairs and wants to get in or leave you a parcel or something. You just talk to them on the phone and then press that button to open the main front door for them. There's an air purifier here, which I have never used, and that's been really handy though. This little portable hoover, you can plug it in to charge it, and it's good for just getting bits of dirt up off the floor. The floor's like, it's like vinyl type floor. So here's the bed here, pretty comfortable, just small single bed. That's been fine. Got the wardrobe here, I won't show you in there, but you can put all your clothes there. Got this little table. In fact, where's the cushion? Yeah, it came with a little cushion as well. So you can sit here. That's another minor thing about this apartment. There's no normal table, like a desk to sit at. I think in my next Airbnb, or I know there is one, I've booked an Airbnb specifically with a table and chair to sit at, because it's not been all that comfortable just sitting on my bed. So that's something to consider, because yeah, Japanese apartments, you know, people tend to sit on the floor a lot more. And it is cool for a while, but then your legs start to hurt after you've been doing it for a while. Not the greatest views out here, if I'm honest. And it's the same here. there's a place out there to hang your washing, and you can just see more apartment blocks. People can see in, so sometimes you might want to shut your curtains. There's a mosquito net there, so you can just leave this door open a bit even at night if you want some fresh air, or you can close the curtains. TV there, obviously, and then a router. For the most part, the internet's been fine. It does get slow on weekend evenings, and I feel like if you use it too much, it kind of gets throttled as well. But on the whole, even though I've been uploading YouTube videos, it's been fine for the most part. Another little bin there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's been really great, very comfortable. The temperature's been great, like I say. I haven't had to use the AC once. It's been fairly quiet, although at night sometimes you can get motorbikes and loud cars going down the main road, because I'm not far from a main road. But on the whole, I've really enjoyed being here. I think it's a really good option for most people, unless you want something really fancy and bougie. I'd say this would do most people. And here's how easy it is just out the front of the apartment to throw away your rubbish. It's pretty dark, but you get the idea. So hopefully that gives you a really good idea of what to expect when it comes to Airbnbs in Japan, at least in a big city. Obviously, a lot of this was down to me and my personal preferences. You could stay in a hostel if you wanted, although you're going to be sharing a room with other people. It will be cheaper. Or you could stay in a hotel. It will be quite a bit more expensive, but a more luxurious experience. For me, Airbnb is a nice, happy medium with quite a lot of flexibility, and you get to kind of really experience normal Japanese life, a bit more like a Japanese person. What I will say is that Japan is really busy with tourists at the moment. The yen is really cheap, but there are a lot of Airbnbs getting snapped up. So if you are planning a trip, just try and book your Airbnb as far in advance as possible. There aren't always a lot of options at the moment, but now is a great time to come. If you want to know more about life in Japan, then subscribe to my channel. I'm doing videos pretty regularly about what it's like to live here as a tourist. I'm here for a good few months. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and leave me any comments or questions below. Thanks a lot.